I can't shoot that.
I can't.
Start in the middle.
Mom, when are you going?
Good job.
Nice. Here, Mom. Mom, trade you.
It's fine. It's fine.
He is. He's watching. Say this is amazing, guys. This is 5,000 people for this march here today.
We're told.
We're told.
Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed, but still a lot of people.
What do you want?
Don't worry about it.
What else? If you can find it.
The Lincoln March today had what, 3,000 people?
2,000 to 3,000.
2,000 to 3,000, and there are unconfirmed number of 5,000-ish here. Either way, it's amazing. Definitely is amazing, Angela. Definitely is. is an amazing number of people, guys. Oh my god. Woo. things. The one person watching this, please share. Everyone needs to see the solidarity that's happening right now. What? That's good. Should be proud. This is an amazing feat. No matter what happens, guys, remember, you are not alone in this. Not even close to being alone. Obviously, there are about 5,000 people, unconfirmed, but we thought there were going to be about 5,000 people here. And now we have all of these people backing us. You are never alone. You are not alone. Don't ever even think you're alone. Because obviously, we are most certainly not.
exciting. First up, I do want to introduce myself. My name is Danielle Powell. I'm so happy to be with all of you tonight. Thank you for showing up. We are going to start the event with the College of St. Mary Choir doing the national anthem. So they look to be primed and ready, so I'm just going to let them go ahead and take it away.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still saved us that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you so much for that. On an evening where it's all about voices being heard, we appreciate your beautiful ones. And up next, we do have our first speaker of the evening. Her name is Kathleen Burke, and so I am going to invite her on stage.
So please bear with me as I read. Thank you first to Susan Nielsen and everyone involved in the organizing of this march to make it a huge success. Thank you to CenturyLink Center for hosting us tonight, and to all the police and EMTs who are here who are assisting us this evening. Thank you to the amazing members of my Suit Up Nebraska team. All 6,200 of you from across Nebraska. You are my new friends and family, and you have risen above the fear and uncertainty and isolation of this rural landscape to focus on activism, to make an effort to reach out and unite and protect the rights and freedoms of everyone around you. So thank you. Of the marginalized communities across this great land that have risen up to say, we will not go quietly. To those that have unified and taken a stand, defied odds and withstood hardships and yes, even violence to protect water at Standing Rock. In Wisconsin, to protect the Muslim community center in Michigan, and most recently to protect the victims of a mass shooting in Florida. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who has taken action, tangible action, to reach out and help someone, to connect with a stranger, to collect goods that they donated to the Refugee Empowerment Center here in Omaha, to raise diapers and food for the local mission in Lincoln. Thank you to all of those who've continued to shovel snow off of your Trump-loving elderly neighbor's driveway. Thank you to everyone who, as hard as it was to sit down and have that conversation over the holidays, you did it with your family. Thank you. To someone with a different viewpoint viewpoint and doing it with an open mind and, more importantly, an open heart. Thank you. Thank you all. And thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you for being such a blatant racist and bigot that you have taught an entire generation what the word xenophobia means. Because when we have a word, we can point to it. We can see it and understand it and identify it, and then we can dismantle it. Thank you for bringing race issues back to the forefront of this country, because now we are finally having the uncomfortable conversations that need to be had. Thank you. We have shined a light on the disgusting bigotry that was slithering just below the surface across this country, but more importantly, we finally realized it wasn't under the surface, it was in the faces of too many of our neighbors, family, and friends. Thank you for making me aware that not only do I have white privilege, but I need to say it out loud, and I need to actively take on the discomfort that comes with being a passive racist, because I have allowed my white privilege to go unchecked. Thank you for reminding me while I look on at disgust as you shroud yourself in gaudy lavishness, that I must shed my privilege like a cloak and wrap it around the incredible people of color of this country who are fighting tirelessly simply to be seen as equals. Thank you for reminding us that it is not enough to simply say, I see you, but to say, I want and I need to hear you. Thank you for reminding me to use my white privilege to amplify those voices. Thank you, Donald Trump, for being such a vile misogynist. Finally talking about the real threats that face 51% of this population simply because of our gender. Thank you for unifying and uniting the women not only of this country, but around the world. To stand and demand equal pay for equal work, that we not only have the right to control our own bodies, but we shouldn't have to pay more money for the insurance to maintain that body. In the workplace, on a college campus, and even walking to our car in a parking lot at night. Thank you for making this conversation so public that the men in our lives who love us had to take notice. Thank you for instigating the uncomfortable conversation with my amazing supportive husband, because even though I know he would never raise a hand to a woman in harm, to harm a woman. Let me clarify that. He helps lots of people. He would never raise a hand to harm a woman. He was oblivious to the daily assaults of the vulgar language that follow women in every aspect of our lives. From those crude insults that are hurled by the fragile male egos online who feel slighted on the dating websites. We've all seen them. To the condescending, demeaning mansplaining that takes place in every office place. More educated, more experienced, more qualified, but still has to watch as the less experienced and qualified man gets promoted before her. We value a girl's education so little, we would sooner send her home to change her clothes so that she's not a distraction to boys. Yeah! choose, from their clothes to their careers. But moreover, he will actively raise our son to respect women. To silence his friends when they engage in locker room talk. Thank you, Donald Trump, for reminding my husband that it is not enough to teach our daughters how to protect themselves and not get raped, but that he has to raise our son not to rape. Thank you, Donald Trump, for your ridiculous tell-it-like-it-is style. When you stand there and you mock the journalist. Because now you say out loud that not only are Mexicans not rapists and drug dealers, Muslims are not terrorists, and yes, Black lives do matter. But now we also say that our disabled friends and family are not to be mocked, and we recognize that they are the most overlooked. Our respect and to be championed. Thank you for your willful ignorance on so many topics that you have inspired an entire generation of millennial snowflakes to finally look up from their iPhones and not only be able to point on a map to Syria, but to also ask the question, do I need to learn to speak Russian? Thank you for unifying and inspiring millions of Americans to take action, to engage in civics, and for reminding us that democracy is not a spectator sport. We have an obligation to engage, to participate, and yes, to direct the path of our own democracy. President Obama implored us that this engagement is the beating heart of America. We are all created equal with certain unalienable rights, and the advances we have made in our nearly 2.5-century-long democracy is that unified insistence to those rights. He reminded us that while those rights were self-evident, they were never self-executing. And they are only in existence because we have sought them and fought for them, and now we have to defend them. We the people give it power. For the most important office in our democracy is the one we hold, citizen. So thank you. Thank you, Donald Trump, for reminding us all of our job title and encouraging us to do the job better. I want to thank also the people who voted for Donald Trump. You see, Trump was just sworn in. You might have heard. I think it was in a couple papers. He was sworn in with a rather unfavorable view of maybe a third of the country thinking favorably of him at this time. That's a whole lot of buyer's remorse happening out there, folks. You see, people are finally starting to realize that they have been conned. To these folks, you cast your vote because you felt ignored and you thought you had found someone who spoke for you. You thought you found someone who saw you and your troubles and who would help you. Oh, he saw your troubles all right. And he played on your fears and he told you exactly what you wanted to hear.
Yes!
And now that he has used you for your vote, he has cast you aside and forgotten those empty promises. But do not despair. Because the irony in all of this is that it made us see you too. We finally now realize how isolated you feel, rural America. How forgotten, and yes, how scared. And to that Trump voter who once again feels abandoned, I stand here today reaching across the aisle, not to say I told you so, but to say take my hand and we'll fix this together. Because together, we are America. education hurts all of us. We are all equally affected by this now, regardless of who voted for who, because we are all Americans. We are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And in case you have forgotten or you started to buy into their propaganda, we are those people. Look around you. This is America. Not Donald Trump, no matter where he sits. Not lobbying groups or super PACs. Not the elitist 1%, and not corporations who obtain the rights and freedoms espoused for individuals. We are the individuals, and when we stand as individuals united, we reclaim the rights and liberties of our founding fathers that they granted unto us. But today is a reminder of more than just our rights and responsibilities. It is also about our character. Kindness and compassion. We are still us, and I am thankful for that. A Trump presidency does not change who we are. We still embody our values and our beliefs in compassion and empathy, and we still have the capacity to give and share, support and love. A Trump presidency does not change me. We do not suddenly start fearing immigrants. The men among us are not suddenly going to start grabbing the, you get the idea. We are still us, and I am. You owned it! The only thing a Trump presidency has done is it has inspired us. It has united us, and it has motivated us. So we move forward united, focusing on midterm elections, focusing on local issues and campaigns. We have come together for a cause, and that cause will still be here tomorrow as long as we are here to fight for it. So shake off the doom that you felt yesterday. Wipe away the tears and focus. Look around you. Half of this country is heartbroken, but moreover, the half that is celebrating are lost souls. Most of them are misguided. Most just want to stick it to someone because they were frustrated and they felt ignored. Most fear immigrants because they don't know any. Most fear climate change and science because it goes against what they were raised to believe. These are not bad people. These are your family, your neighbors, your friends. They're just uneducated, unexposed, uncertain, unsatisfied. They are tired, as you are too. They are tired of working 2 jobs and still being unable to pay their bills. They are us, and we are them, and we are all Americans, and we are all in this together. So look around you. Look how much hope you have found in feeling united here tonight. Do you feel hopeful? This hope that surrounds us has embraced both genders, people across all political parties, all races, all religions. Look how love has trumped hate here tonight. So I beg you, stay positive and compassionate and hopeful when you engage in dialogue with both the like-minded and also the opposition. Some of them need our kindness and compassion more than most. So work with them, educate them, guide them through your own actions, and remember to focus and breathe. There will be setbacks. We can expect that. We all knew what was at stake. Marriage equality, civil rights, race relations, immigration, refugees, climate change, the environment, gun control, women's rights, healthcare, education. We knew it all.
Voters' rights.
The arts. These are our issues. These are our causes. These are our identities. And they still are. And it hurts. It hurts to think that we could have setbacks on the things most personal and precious to us. We're angry that these are still issues now. Like hell, we want to have them set back further. But I think on those who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King in the 1960s. Do you think they thought, why the hell am I still having to fight this fight when this was settled back in 1862? As the hoses were being turned on them? And to the Black Lives Matter protesters who are still having to fight this fight, don't you think they're wondering why this is an issue when Dr. King settled it back in the 1960s? It is a process. And this is just another step in that process. It's not the end of the movement. During the election, we heard a lot about Susan B. Anthony and the suffragettes. You know, Susan B. Anthony fought for our right to vote. She was beaten and she was in prison for it. She fought on. And she died 41 years before she saw the fruits of her labor realized. Movements don't happen overnight. They are a process and there are setbacks. And sometimes you lose a battle or two, but you have to keep fighting to win the war. And we have seen progress. But Robert F. Kennedy cautioned us. He said that progress is a nice word, but change is its motivator, and change comes with enemies. We have our enemies. And we will have challenges and we will have hardships. And disheartened and weary though you may be, we are tasked with staying vigilant. So become engaged, become informed, educated, and aware. Get to know your politicians, more importantly, make sure they get to know you. Read the bills in your local legislature. Go to town hall meetings. Drop into their office once in a while. Do not allow life to happen to you. Do not let them determine your needs, what's best for you, what your values and your beliefs are. Do not allow them to gaslight you and call it fake news. Do not allow them to normalize hate and bigotry because there is nothing normal about it. Stay aware, stay informed, stay convicted, because passivity is condemnation. Eli Wiesel said that we must always take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the oppressed. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. You may think that staying above the fray of politics and not participating somehow makes you cleaner than the rest. It doesn't. It makes you complicit. You may not take an interest in politics, but rest assured, politics takes an interest in you. So learn the issues. Unite with those who are like-minded and engage in civil discourse with the opposition. And make no mistake about it. We are waging a war, and it may only be a war of rhetoric, but the casualties are very real. And it is often said that the first casualty of war is the truth. So take a stand and unite and put an end to this. We, the ever-watchful citizen, for it is inscribed on our own state capitol building that the salvation of the state is in the watchfulness of the citizen, that we are the citizens, the watchful citizens, who have not only the right but the obligation to fight for our rights and freedom. And there is much fighting to do, but more importantly, there is much healing to do. And today is the first step in that process as well. So we will stay united. And we will stay true to ourselves and our beliefs and our values. And we will stay true to the legacy of those who fought and marched before us. To keep on fighting in spite of the opposition. On getting back up when you have been knocked down. On going high when they go low. And on staying caring and compassionate. And maintain hope in everything we do. Hope doesn't happen to us. It is cultivated in our own lives by our own actions. Hope is an intentional practice and an ongoing journey. The Reverend Rob Hardy's tells us to find hope is to find concrete opportunities and engage locally to begin the work of redeeming our world. We need companions for that journey of hope. Friends, family, comrades, look around you at your community. When people have no hope, they join together to discover it. And when they cannot discover it, they come together to create it. So move forward in hope and let the steps that you walk tonight be the first step. And in the process of our democracy, I will leave here with one quote from Coretta Scott King. Struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and you re-win it in every generation. So let tonight be the first steps in that process to re-win our country.